cold gang. First round draft pick.
Cuz. You muted, cuz.
Hey. hey.
We're back.
We're back. We're live.
Is this thing on?
It's mic check. We live, y'all. All right. Cuz 404 teams, 400 days. No. Hold on. Fuck it. We keeping it.
Right.
404 games, 400 teams, 26 days.
Come on.
Indiana high school basketball is set to begin tomorrow. And it's going to be lit, cuz. We got a lot to talk about on today's episode from the Colts, the Pacers, Indiana basketball. Cold game is live tonight. I'm your host, Isaiah Dotson. I'm here with my co-host, Malcolm Bennell, a state champion. He know what it takes to get to the top. Cuz, what it do?
What it do, cousin?
I'm feeling good, cuz, man. Hey, I'm excited. It's an exciting week. Sectionals popping off. Some big games in store. Teams is trying to run it back. Some teams is undefeated this year, trying to cap off a special season. Nothing bigger than that. Let's start in that 4A. 4A, some big time matchups, cuz we got class. Let me get your thoughts overall, cuz. How do you feel about this tournament coming up? What are your thoughts about this tournament?
Oh man, it's gonna be one for the books as always, man. You know, there's always some great basketball played in Indiana, first and foremost. So probably the best high school basketball. I'll stand on that. Indiana has the best high school basketball, second to none. Likewise in football, you know, you can say Texas and New York, but that's all we do here in Indiana is play sports. You know, the first sport we played, like you said, we have fields that grow basketballs in them. You know, so. With that being said, it's just that it's that time of the year, man. It's, you know, March Madness is coming up, but right before that March Madness, you know, we got to have a high school boys and girls basketball state title run. So it's that time, cuz you know we locked in.
We locked in. Me and Mal, we have decided not to mention any names before this tournament. We want to hear some names pop up. We want some big-time performances. We want to see players go out there and kill and make a name for themselves. And then on Cold Game, we're going to make sure we show y'all all the love and stand on it for y'all, man. So the sectional I'm looking forward to most, cuz, is this 4A sectional up in Noblesville, Carmel, Fishers, Hamilton Southeastern, Noblesville, Westville, Zionsville. And the reason why I'm looking forward to this sectional, man, you got one of our favorite teams up there, one of our favorite programs or operations that's running in the state right now. 23-game win streak currently. They fell short in the state finals last year, but Fishers High School, cuz number one ranked team in the state. We got to start with them. Looking to make they run to the state title, but it's loaded up there. They had a close game with Carmel not too long ago. Fishers is always tough. Hamilton Southeastern, Noblesville. I mean, it's gonna be a dog fight. It's gonna be a dog fight up there, cuz. What's your thoughts about that section?
Man, it's a dog fight. I know we ain't supposed to have no favorites, and but I kind of been tapped in every so slightly this year with this high school basketball, and it looked like Fishers is coming for, you know, what was taken from him last year in that state championship game. Coach Garrett Weiniger, he won that Naismith Boys High School Coach of the Year. And he, you know, from me knowing him, his preparation is second to none. So it'll be real interesting to see what happened in that North. Like I said, we got first game one, we got Noblesville versus Zionsville. Game two, Westville versus Hamilton Southeastern. Game three will be the winner of game one versus Carmel. And then game four will be the winner of game two versus Fishers. And, of course, game five will be the final two team standings. So that's going to be a heavyweight fights all through there. It's the battle for the North. You know, if you're from Indiana, you know the north side of the city of Indianapolis. There was all them northern suburbs. That's where the money resides. So, you know, you can't put that money on the basketball court. You just got to see who got the most heart out there.
Absolutely. The sectional I'm looking at, cuz I'm looking at that sectional. What is it? Sectional. Let me see. I want to say sectional 8A, but I want to make sure I'm telling y'all the right information.
Mm-hmm.
Sectional 10 out of 4A.
Mm-hmm.
Lawrence North, Lawrence Central, Warren, North Central, Tech. It's loaded up. And as a former Lawrence Central student who was going to these games and witnessing this greatness, because back then I believe we had Knuckles back in that tournament. Deontay Vaughn, he ended up going to Cincinnati, played at Arlington High School, Cathedral. You had tough matchups there. Keenan Hampton. I want to say Thomas. He played for Cathedral. I mean, it was just loaded. Greg, not to mention Greg Oden and Mike Conley.
Mm-hmm.
That's just loaded tournament. So that's going to be a loaded tournament. But all these teams play in county. And here's a question and an idea that I propose to you. Now,
mm-hmm.
I'm looking at this sectional and how loaded and how deep it is, and I'm wondering why or should the state of Indiana make a tournament style seeded from number 1 to number 404 style bracket and let these teams go at it and figure out who's the true champion? Or do you agree with teams being so heavy that teams that would possibly make it to state if they was in any other sectional? How do you feel about that? These teams being grouped up, these favorites being grouped up in one sectional as opposed to having a 1 through 404 team bracket.
It's a lot to unpack with that, because you can say that Indiana wants to take the competitiveness out of it. Like, this is still high school. These are still children. But some of these children are going to go on and get an NIL deal next year and be making hundreds of thousands of dollars. You know, is it fair? No, it's not fair, because it's just kind of like the luck of the draw. You get placed wherever, they deem to put you at. So I think maybe not a 400 team tournament. Maybe you still keep the classes and divisions, but you rank those classes and divisions. Like, you shouldn't have a number 1 seed facing a number 2 seed, theoretically in the first round of sectionals. You should. I don't like that idea. Maybe for travel reasons and things of that nature, you can only you have to do it this way. But I think there's other states that do it. I believe Ohio does it. Illinois may do it. Some of our surrounding states, they do rank their teams, and you go into your state tournament based on your rank, so it's kind of like the whole regular season is just a wash when it comes to Indiana high school sports, because, it's kind of the luck of the draw. Everybody makes it. It's like a participation trophy. But then again, too, on any given night, any team can get hot, especially with basketball. Any team can get hot. Football more so, you kind of know who's going to win them games, because there's a lot more that goes into that. But basketball is 5-on-5, mano-a-mano. So somebody gets hot, somebody goes on a run, they can knock out a top seeded team quick. So I think, yes, I think it can be ranked in a certain fashion. I don't think you can have, you think of a school like Carmel where they got 5,000 kids to choose from, and then you go down to a 1A school, Elkhart Central or whatever the school is at 1A, who may only have 200 boys to choose from or 200 kids to choose from. Then you got you got the numbers, but then we get into the talk of they have open enrollment now in these schools. You can go to any school you want to, no matter where you live. As long as you can get to school in the morning, you can go to that school. So it's an open enrollment state. So I think we're slowly going towards that tournament style. I don't know Indiana's reasons for not doing that, but I do think it should be, something in that fashion of a tournament.
I agree. I agree. I would like to see it. I would like to see a tournament style, makes it orderly, organized. Like you said, do the travel. Maybe have these regional teams bunched up. In the tournament style. But I agree with that. And I'm just looking forward to how it starts. I'm looking forward to see who comes out on top. I'm looking forward to seeing who emerges. So, good luck to every team that's participating. If you are a senior, this is it. You gotta come ready to play and be prepared to give it your all, give it your best effort, know your assignments, lock in, no distractions, because this is it. This is it. And if you want your season to finish in Gainbridge Fieldhouse, which you cut down on nets, it starts tomorrow. It starts this week. Lock in, y'all. Lock in. And I'm gonna let y'all hear from a state champion, because any advice you want to give them, and the mindset you feel like they should have going into this tournament.
Man, leave it all on the floor. Leave it all on the floor. Like, I got plenty of friends and teammates and people I've coached who's gone on to play at the collegiate level and the professional level. And a lot of them can remember what happened in their senior sectional or their senior regional game, or, those are some of the fondest memories you're going to have for the rest of your life, because this is basketball and this is sports at its purest. So leave it all out there, man. Don't have no regrets, try to play a perfect game. Nobody's perfect, but you need to be as close to perfect as you can to help your team win. Basketball is definitely a team sport. So go out there with your bros, with your guys, and leave it all on the floor. Don't have no regrets. Win or lose, ain't no draw. Win or lose, don't have no regrets when you walk off that floor. Coaches too.
In the words of Justin Bonds, man, if you love your brother, hug your brother, man. Be ready to rise. So, good luck to y'all. We looking forward to seeing how all this shakes out in the city, because it was another important event that just took place. It goes by the name of the NFL Combine. An annual celebration or annual participation of college football's finest coming together in Indianapolis to conduct tests and interviews and medical checks and most importantly, interviews to see where they will be drafted in April. And from everything I hear, the combine should never leave Indianapolis. Indiana is the perfect place for the NFL Combine. It is the home of the NFL Combine. Mm-hmm. Everybody who's played the NFL, you have to come through Indianapolis. Not everybody, because everybody doesn't get invited, but for the most part, everybody who plays in the NFL has came through Indianapolis and tested. And it's an important thing. What is it? Anybody or anything in particular that stuck out to you this week or this past week with the combine?
Yeah, I think you're right on point with saying that. The combine should never leave Indianapolis. We need to go ahead and sew that up, put that in writing, and make sure it's here at all times. It's a tradition, a tradition that should never graduate. But yeah, hell yeah, what stood out to me, man. I think your boy Omar Cooper from IU, he came down and he upped that draft stock. His draft stock went up. I'm hearing whispers of a baby Debo Samuels. That's what they saying. I ain't say that. That's what they saying.
Pure dog.
So I would love to see where Omar Cooper goes in the draft. He's an Indianapolis native, went to Lawrence North High School, and definitely did his thing on the national level, winning that national championship. Him and Fernando. So, yeah, that's all I like to. I mean, the draft to me, the draft is all just eye candy. It's all just a test. It's really the biggest test is when you turn that film on. I was listening to Chris Ballard today. He was talking about just quarterback evaluation and stuff like that, and he said something. He's a man that does a lot of talking. He just always spitting out some shit. But he said something today if you're a quarterback, you know what I'm saying, you can up your draft shot. You can hurt yourself or you can help yourself in the draft. I mean, it's at the combine. But the best thing to up your draft stock is that film and how many reps you have, especially if you're a quarterback. How much reps have you had a quarterback? How many reps? And then, you know, a lot of people said, "Oh, Fernando Mendoza's not that guy. You know, he was a system guy. You know, he's not a great quarterback." You just cut on the film, man. Just cut on the film. I mean, and even before he got to IU, there's a reason that that coach brought him down to IU. It wasn't just because he was just Mickey the Moat. You know, he went out there and found this guy.
Right.
So yeah, it's all about what you put on that film. The draft, the combine can't help your draft stock, but I think it's all about what you done put on that film the past few years. So
absolutely. I think my biggest takeaway from the combine, outside of the Indiana players, you know, D'Angelo Pons, he was fluid in every drill. I think he had one of the top verticals at all quarterbacks for the past 10, 15 years. Pure dog. We already know that. The tape speaks for itself, like you said. Hearing the interviews, hearing people talk about players like Aiden Fisher, you know, how he's so cerebral sitting in that middle linebacker position. He was a quarterback in high school. Other offensive linemen, they say, "Hey, yo, the dude knows our plays. We got to give him dummy calls." Just hearing that type of insight, hearing a GM tell Fernando Mendoza, "Hey, we think you should get arrested, so you can fall down the draft board, so we can grab you."
They fly. Hey, stay up, Fernando. Hey, don't go. Hey, stay where you at. Stay in that hotel room, man.
Right. GMs and front office personnel, man, they gonna do anything to get the player they want. Say anything, man. It's a big money business. But outside of that, if you just talking pure numbers and prospects, for some reason the running backs caught my eye. Looking at the running back drills, I'm looking at all these running backs run and go through their drill. But how can we not be in awe of a player like Jeremiah Love? He goes out there and runs a 4.3 twice. Dude's flying. It made me go back and turn on the Indiana Notre Dame game from last year's playoff. Had to go watch that 100-yard run again. I said, "Oh, it's on tape. You can see the 4.3 speed on tape." I think dude's going to be a generational running back in the league. That's my takeaway, because he was a dog in college. I'm looking at a player like that, like he just really stood out. If it's one player that stood out in my mind, I got to say it was Jeremiah Love. Kid's a dog. I think he's going to be a great running back in the league. What you think, cuz?
Yeah, Jeremiah Love, he came down to the city, cuz, and played Warren Central when he was in high school. So you know, we real familiar with Jeremiah Love here in Indiana. What do you think, cuz, is his comparison? What's his likeness? Who would you, if you had to say Jeremiah Love, he gives me these vibes, what vibes does he give?
I heard a great comparison earlier. In the comparison they said that I agree with, that I seen, and I can understand why they said it. They said Darren McFadden. You know, a running back, you know, with the burst, and you know, he was a dog. He was a dog back in Arkansas, and he was a dog in the league. You know, he was a special player for a while, and I can see hit that sort of game. I can see that in him. So I think that was a good comparison. So I know he's gonna be
back.
I know he's gonna be high up on my fantasy draft board. You know, depending on what team he goes to. They asked me how he felt about American team. He said, "Who's that?"
Like what, the cowgirls?
Right, you don't want to be a part of that. And they need a running back, but hey, you can't. Yeah. He just let it be known. So that was good, man. Good stuff down there in Indianapolis, man. We looking forward to April. We looking forward to seeing it. But as far as that horseshoe, players that we feel like the horseshoe should be targeting and looking at, you know, we got a second round pick, so I feel like it's up in the air. Of course, I feel like we need some front seven, specifically some linebacker depth. We need to be looking at a linebacker. I would like to see the coach maybe target D'Angelo Pons. You know, I would like his fit on the Colts, and really just get some good players. Unc said Love is just like Eric Dickerson, so smooth, poetry.
Pony Express.
That Pony Express. Dog, I like that comparison.
Eric
You know,
Dickerson.
that's a great guy. That's high honors. That's high honors if you know, because Eric Dickerson was a dog, formerly a Colt, got
Mhm.
traded to the Rams. So he was a pure animal in the league, you know. But I'm looking for the coaches to capitalize on this draft. If we have to trade AR, make sure at least we can hopefully we can get a third round, fourth round pick for him. You know, it's unfortunate, you know, because we picked him number 4. So of course he's gonna be labeled and viewed as a bust. That's just the nature of the business. But here's what got my brain going because I was checked out at the end of this at the end of last season. I was checked out. Daniel Jones went down. Phillip Rivers came in. Phillip Rivers went out. We wasn't making the playoff. I wasn't watching the last game of the year. But then the thought popped in my head. The coach wants to trade AR. Daniel Jones is injured. Who's gonna start week 1 at quarterback?
You know.
Riley Leonard. But then I said, okay, Riley Leonard. I took my angry fan hat off because I've been angry because the coach had made the playoffs in years. You know, so I've been frustrated. But then I had to realize I had to go back and turn on that game film against Houston Texans. He was giving them boys problems. Riley Leonard was out there balling. Threw 2 touchdowns, ran for 1, and he was making it look good.
Mm-hmm.
He was making throws. He was out there. I'm like, okay, we might have something with Riley Leonard. We may just have something with him. I'm warming up to the idea that this late round pick, he may be the great white hope. He just may be that. We may have to. Hey, they may be pushing all their chips in with Riley Leonard, and then I start thinking crazy. I'm like, well, hey, Tom Brady did get drafted in the 6th round.
Yeah.
There is a chance, you know. And I'm looking at the comparisons. They saying he played like Josh Allen, and I'm looking at his running style. He's really a running quarterback. Like that's really his style. Tough, mobile. He can make you miss. He's faster, way faster than what you think he is. The dude's a dog.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, man, hey, just maybe I can see it. Cuz, what you think?
Yeah, they say where is Riley? Is he from Georgia, Alabama? Where's Riley from? He's from
originally, like where he played high school football at?
Mm-hmm.
I
know it was down south. It's either Florida, Alabama, Georgia. It's one of them southern states. But I was just listening to some commentary on him. They said Riley Leonard's the man where he's from. He is that guy. I think he's from wherever the same place Phillip Rivers is from. But they said wherever he's that guy. Like they said when he was playing high school basketball, you'll walk in, GM Riley Leonard was playing. It was standing room only. You know, so people know who Riley Leonard is. Like he ain't no slouch. He ain't no just, you know, he didn't just make it here by accident. So Alabama, yeah, he's the man in Alabama. They say he's that guy in Alabama. Like he owns Alabama. So I mean, I've seen it. I watched the last game of the year because, you know, to my behest, I watched it. You know, and Riley Leonard was doing his thing. You know, it just brings you back to the AR situation. I just, you know, we just had so much high hopes, man. Like it just felt like just a bad marriage from the jump, man, with Anthony Richardson. But the thing I think about, you know, he has everything you need, you know, and wanting the quarterback, you know, except for those little intermediate throws. You don't like how fragile he is. But he checks the box off everywhere else. So I just think about guys like Sam Darnold, guys like your boy from the Rams, Matt Stafford, you know, dudes who getting second, third chances, you know, everywhere else. And then they turn around and, you know, win a Super Bowl. So it's just like, do you wait and hold a guy down that long? What if we would have put Anthony Richardson on the Riley treatment, on the Riley Leonard treatment? You know, just let him sit back and watch somebody else get their head knocked off and then just come in last game of the season and just kill. You know, what if he would have had that chance to sit back a year or two? And, you know, I guess they are ifs now, but it seems like, you know, we're going to be done with that Anthony Richardson conversation. We're going to move on from that. I don't see us getting no third, fourth round pick for him. You know, hopefully we can, but it's looking more like 5, 6, 7. I think.
Oh man,
that I heard.
man, that'd be disappointing.
That'd be super disappointing. But you know, but is he even worth that? Like, you know, is he even worth like, you know, like not saying is he worth a 4, 5, 6, but is he a better asset to keep him than, you know, let him go? But if they told him to seek a trade, they've been saying get the hell out of here. So I don't mind starting off the season with Riley Leonard. I mean, what else do we got to lose? You know what I'm saying? So I want to know. The big question mark for me right now is what are we doing with Daniel Jones? Daniel Jones is the question mark of question marks of question marks. You know, they said everybody's saying he'll be back next season. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't know. And do you pay for damaged goods? We've seen that. Like, do you put the house on damaged goods? You know, I don't know.
I can see them get ready to pay him that 30, 40 million, whatever, you know, whatever you pay a free a tag franchise quarterback. They about to pay it because I think we're desperate. I think the Colts are desperate. I mean, you have to hold on to the success that we had last year. Daniel Jones was a large part to do with that, but also the failure. He had a large part to do with that too because he was not available. You know, and that's part of the reason that gave him pause to begin with. So I think we're gonna roll the dice again next year, keep him, tag him. I wouldn't give him a long-term deal. If he's looking to get a long-term deal and threatening to sit out because of it, well, you're gonna have to sit out. But that does put us in a situation where if he's healthy and now he's sitting out and we could be winning games with him playing and he's holding out for a long-term deal and he's willing to wait a year, I think that's a gamble as well. But I don't know if it's a team out there that will be willing to sign him after sitting out a whole year, coming off Achilles, and if he's looking for that type of money that he's looking for. He's not going to get that money a year from now. He needs to sign the tag, play, and prove himself again. That's all. You can't say you proved yourself in that small sample size because you didn't complete the mission. The mission was make the playoffs. The team failed. You was not available. That was the biggest gripe with you. So you have to prove yourself. So I hope he's not looking forward to getting a long-term deal. What y'all think about that? You know, what y'all think about that? Y'all watching this? Y'all think Daniel Jones should get a long-term deal? I don't think so. But I would like to hear y'all thoughts on that. But speaking on AR, I think AR, his time here was tumultuous. He had some good moments, and we stood on him. You know, we on this podcast, we messed with AR. We pounded the table for him, as you say. But the best ability is availability. If we in a fight and things is getting rough and the team is fighting and you not there, that's gonna leave a sour taste in my mouth. Because why we always fighting and you ain't never jumping in? Why we always fighting and you ain't nowhere to be found? You somewhere hurt, talking about your eye hurt. I don't like that. You know, so the coach gave him permission to seek a trade. Well, find a team then who's gonna take you in. You know, I don't know if he's gonna be a Sam Darnold. I don't know. He could be, but we drafted you. We believed in you. We picked you top 5. Why couldn't we get that version of you? The opportunity was there last year. If he does go on to be successful, I'm still gonna feel some type of way because you couldn't do it with us, and we needed it. We needed a franchise quarterback, and you can't say we didn't give you the opportunity because we did. You had every opportunity to be a franchise quarterback and to prove yourself. So I'm gonna be disappointed either way. And if he doesn't go on to be successful, it's still gonna be disappointing because he got lots of talent. The dude, hella talented, 6'5", built like a tank, 4'5", got a rocket arm. Bro, you should be balling out. So I hope AR gets back on track, because as a person, I think he's a great human. I think he's a great young man. He speaks very well. He's always came across as humble. He's always came across as smart. Very, very articulate. And he's always said the right things. And I respect that a lot about him. But I wish he would have performed in the coach uniform. And that's just gonna be my lasting thoughts on him. Good or bad. I hope he goes on to kill somewhere. And I hope it's not in the AFC. Because if it's in the AFC for a rival, it's gonna make me hate you.
Right. Right.
It's gonna go from disappointment to hate.
There won't be so many nice things to say.
It won't at all. It won't at all. It won't at all. So, so we looking forward to seeing what the coach do in the draft, free agency, what the quarterback, how the quarterback position shakes out with Riley Leonard, Daniel Jones, all that stuff. We're gonna keep talking about throughout this spring and the summer, leading up to training camp, and we're gonna see what it is. Now we gotta talk about these Pacers. 14% lottery odds. 14% to get the number 1 pick. We got the second worst record in the league right now. We still have to stay in that sweet spot. One of the 4 worst teams. It's not guaranteed that we're going to pick top 4, but we're one of the 4 worst teams. I was looking earlier. It's a 14-win team, Sacramento, 2 15-win teams, and a 16-win teams. And then so that's a 4, and then the closest is Utah after that. Utah got 18 wins. So they try and tank their way into the top 4. Now we got to fall into that top 4, because if we don't fall into that 1 through number 4, we give our pickup to the Clippers if it falls 5 through 9. So in no way, shape, or form should we fall 5 through 9. We gamble. We have to be in that top 4. We're doing our part, because we just losing. And I hate to watch us lose. I was talking to my bro Shu about this on earlier. He like, man, bro, what's wrong with you, man? Why you? I'm like, hey, if we gonna be trash all the way and reap the benefits. We wait till Tyrese come back. He said, what about Nembhard? He's waiting till Tyrese come back. They waiting. Them boys is ready. They gonna see the leader. We gonna be ready next year. Because what's your thoughts about finishing the season with 20 plus games? Then we in the final stretch. Season ends next month. What's your thoughts about the Pacers right now, cuz?
Keep up the great work, boy. Hey, we keep sticking to the plan. Like the league throwing fines at us for sitting Neesmith, and he really was hurt. They talk about you can't dope him up and play him. Like, come on, man. This is all I gotta say. I think you brought this point up to me off the air one time, cuz let's just look at the Detroit Pistons, man. How many number 1 picks are on that squad? How many years of taking have they got to become the number 1 team in the East? Like, come on now. Like, let's be real here. Like, how many years of taking have they did to get to where they at now? Cade Cunningham. Plenty of it. Cade out there looking like the MVP all of a sudden. Detroit, everybody all of a sudden. Detroit. No, it ain't all of a sudden. They've been working on this for years.
Mm-hmm.
Just give us our little, we ain't trying to take for what. We just, one, 2, 3, or 4. So, but this is exactly it's going as planned, and I love every second of it. I love every second of it, seeing Quentin Jackson get his contract, and seeing these young guys ball, seeing JF out there do the reverse ducks. Yeah, I want to see all of that, because y'all know what time it is next year. We got blood in that water next year. I'm still watching film and games from the run last year, from last year's playoff run. I still got a bad taste in my mouth from that. Seeing that, I'm hurt seeing Halliburton. I've watched that clip of Halliburton go down. It hurt my feelings every time. You know what I'm saying? It hurt my feelings every time, cuz. So, yeah, we coming back stronger. Like I said, Halliburton, you look at him now, he done put on about, 15 pounds of muscle, 10 pounds of muscle. We coming back stronger. Siakam, all-star. We got everything we need, man. We just need our guy back. We need our quarterback.
They say he went home last week for a couple of days. They say he had shingles.
Halliburton has shingles?
Mm-hmm. They sent him home for 2 weeks.
He got it from Oshkosh, or he got it from the net?
I think it was the net. He was traveling with the team. They sent him home. He was sick.
Nah, man, get that right. Get that together, Halliburton. I need him as healthy. We don't need no shingles. We don't need none of that, man. I just keep Halliburton healthy till next year. That's all and it really, because really the draft don't even. The draft does matter. But whatever piece that we decide to add from that, you know, it's just gonna be a you know, cherry on top to whatever we got cooking. Because I'm gonna say this, man, we was the best team. You know, we was the best team when we was clicking on our cylinders last year against OKC. We was the best team. You know, until Halliburton went down, we was gonna come and take one from O'Shea. You know, so. You know, I not to take anything away from Shea, because Shea's a dog. You know, I can't even really stunt. Shea is a dog. You know, I mean, the dude got, what he said, he got 30-point games. You know what I'm saying? Something crazy like that this year. Like, the dude's a dog. But, you know, I think everybody's seen the writing on the wall, man. The clutch moments, the craziness. They said that we was practicing black magic down here. So there's going to be some more of that black magic to come 26-27 season. Best believe that. And that's really what I'm waiting on.
That's a fact. So yeah, we locked in. We locked in with the Pacers. Hopefully, they continue the losing streak so we can solidify our top 4 draft status. So we gambled and we gave up a first round pick. We gave up a first round pick in that trade. So we need, you know, we don't need them getting that. We need our pick. I'm sorry. So if we gotta lose to keep our pick, then at this point we're gonna lose because there's no chance of us making the playoffs. So just keep losing. It's simple. So, speaking of a team that just keep losing, let's talk about the Indiana Hoosiers. Nightmare. I think we lost 4 straight. Last week we lost to Northwestern at home. Came back, got dogged by Michigan State at home. Oh, and don't mention before we got dogged by Northwestern at home. We was at Purdue and they did it so filthy. Beat us by like 50. It wasn't even close. So I'm disappointed right now with Indiana. I can't lie. I'm disappointed, highly disappointed. We on a losing streak right now. The only offense is coming from Lamar Wilkinson and Tucker DeVries. I mean, but in my opinion, he wasn't as he hasn't produced as highly touted as he was. He just, I mean, I thought he should be Big Ten Player of the Year level type guy. Luka Doncic, we compare him to in the offseason. He ain't been nothing close to that, man. You know, so it's been just disappointing to watch this team play because we have like a fake post on tournament hopes, on keeping our tournament hopes alive. It's a faint post. Faint. We gotta win this. We gotta win at Ohio State. And then we also got to get some games in the tournament. Cause give me your thoughts about this Indiana team right now.
What can we say? What can we say? I know Darren DeVries is in his rebuild. I mean, he's inheriting, you know, a program, but like you said earlier, this is his roster. This is what he constructed. This is who he went out there and got put together and to put on the floor. So it's a lot different. Thinking about him and IU football, when they got their K coach, they started to make that turnaround immediately. You know, so I don't know. Is it the coaching? Is it the players? Is it the fans? Is it Mike Woodson? Is it still Mike Woodson? You know, is it still Mike Woodson? Is it his fault? So I don't know. What's that other tournament called? Cause the Maui Wowie, the Maui. What's the
Maui Invitational?
Yeah, is that what we shooting for? You know what I'm saying?
Oh man. Oh, the NIT and the NIT the crowd tournament.
Yeah, the NIT. Man. Yeah, is that what we shooting for?
Well, they just said this week. They just came out today. They say if Indiana doesn't make the tournament, we're not playing in the NIT or the Crown. You know, so how do you even feel about that? Because you know, if the team declines to play the NIT and the Crown,
I mean, if it was, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago before the NIL era, then I would have said that's a bad move. But now ain't none of these dudes gonna be back next year. The whole roster, as you know it, I mean, ain't none of these dudes gonna be back next year. It's gonna be a whole new roster. That's just how it goes. So I would say, yeah, let's go ahead and go into that tournament, get these dudes reps, you know, get your young guys ready. But dudes ain't sticking around. You know, Lamar Wilkinson ain't gonna be here at IU next year. I'll be surprised, but I mean, it don't matter either way. It's the big tourney or nothing, you know. So it doesn't matter. Let them start. Go
ahead, finish your thought, cuz.
As we said, let Darren start his recruiting early. Like, you know, go ahead and scrap this one up. You know, wash your hands with it and get on that horn. Get on that horn. Get on Twitter. Get on X. You know, get your recruiting top tier. You know, so
that's exactly what I was gonna say. Cause this time, if we don't make this tournament, scrap it, shut it down, start recruiting that portal, go hard. Because one of the reasons why I'm seeing online they say Indiana is not so as good this year is because we had a late start on the portal. You know, hiring these coaches. You know, we didn't get his. We was still hiring assistant coaches into the summer when the portal was closed. You know, so we didn't have a full coaching staff. We didn't, we didn't hire Darren DeVries until later in the tournament. You know, to like I want to say like second weekend. I mean, the tournament had already started by the time we had, and players was already starting to enter the transfer portal. You know, so we had a late start. He had to put together a staff late. So this year, I'm gonna give Darren DeVries, I'm gonna give him a pass on this year. I don't want to, but I feel like I have to. And I say I don't want to because the major positions on his roster, it was his choice. I feel like we got Tucker DeVries and Lamar Wilkerson as the shooters. You know, maybe we was asking a lot of Tucker DeVries to go from a mid-major Drake, West Virginia, where he injured his shoulder, didn't even play the whole year, to coming to Indiana, a Big Ten school with all this expectation and be a dog. That's a lot to ask of somebody. Lamar Wilkerson, he came in, he's one of the top scorers in the Big Ten. So he came from a mid-major, Lamar, and did his thing. But it was Darren DeVries' fault that we couldn't find playmakers. We tried out a point guard who's giving us zero almost every game.
Get it.
Yeah. We got dudes in the lineup who's literally damn near not even scoring. Every time I look at the box score, point guard got 0, small forward got 3. Nick Dorn and Connor Enright. I mean, these dudes, that's the best we can get. Is he the best point guard you could have gotten in the portal? That's what I just want to know. Just answer me straight up, or did you target him and say, oh, you could be successful at Indiana? I mean, the dude was at the Paul. He hurt his shoulder last year. He even played half the year because he was hurt on IR. Why is he our starting point guard? Is that your eye for talent evaluation? Is that the best you can do? Because if that's the best you can do, it's never going to be good enough. We need you to find way better players than that to even be at the end of the bench. He should be a walk-on. I should never see a play like that strap on the Indiana uniform. And then his decision to not go out and get a big man. That's another thing. We tried now 6'9" Sam Alexis. On a good team, he's a backup. He was a backup at Florida. Florida made that run. He was the 4th center. He started at Indiana. Oh, it's because players wanted something. I don't care what the reason is. Why are we not competing for the Big Ten championship? Why are we not in that Big Ten tournament? Because you know a team that hired his coach year 1 and they looking good? Michigan.
Yeah.
Dusty May was hired last year. They won the Big Ten tournament. His second year, they did number 1 team, or they've been in the top 5 almost all year. Was number 1 team in the nation at one point, and lost a close one to Duke, and been destroying everybody. Are we on that type of trajectory? That's what I'm comparing it to. Is he that type of coach that's going to bring in that type of talent to be a number 1 team in the country? That's what we expect. And you know what's worse than being angry? Indifference. When you just don't even care. That's how I view IU right now. It's like, I don't even care, man. We won a national championship in football. IU basketball, y'all trash all the time. We missed the tournament 8 out of the past 10 years. And one of the times we made the tournament, we was in there as a flash 4. Had to play in the playing game. and then won that, and then the next game got scraped up by Gonzaga. Or it wasn't Gonzaga, it was St. Mary's. Oh my God. St. Mary's did Indiana filthy in the NCAA tournament with Trace Jackson Davis. That's what I'm saying, y'all, man. The Indiana is becoming a regular thing to be irrelevant. The empathy has set in. Last year, it was Coach Wilson. That's why Liam McNeely decommitted. That's why we couldn't. The offense is the reason why we couldn't get good point guards and so on and so forth. It had nothing to do with the fans. Had nothing to do with the fans that was on these message boards being hella toxic, talking all type of shit to Coach Wilson. Had nothing to do with them. But just last night at the game, it was fans booing players. But now it's a problem because the mama noticed it. One of the recruits' mama noticed it in the crowd. So, yeah, it's the fans. No, it's not the fans. It's the coach that put the team together that make the fans boo. And yes, Indiana fans are toxic. Some of the most toxic fans in the whole country. That's because they want to win. That's because they only want to win. But it's going to keep a lot of people away. Yes, that's true. But just win and we won't have that problem. Win and they won't get booed. Simple as that. It's as simple as that, cuz. So, next game against Ohio State, we're going to see if we can win that game and make the tournament. If not, the season is all set. It's all set. So, last thing I want to say, cuz, man, is, are you hopping on tonight?
Close to my bedtime.
Put him on the spot.
Hey, it might be time to turn on that heating pad, get up under that blanket, and see what show on Peacock gonna put me to sleep first.
Yeah, man. If y'all don't know, we talk about 2K, man. So pretty soon we're gonna give y'all some clips. We've been recording clips, man. We consider ourselves comp. So we like to play 2K, man. If you got 2K out there, man, if you feel like you some comp, tap in with us. We gonna be uploading some clips. If y'all want some smoke, just let us know. So we got a whole team for y'all too. Shout out Guru, shout out IQ. We got a squad. Shout out Horsey, shout out Cold Game. With that being said, Cold Game.
Okay.
Four, cold game. First round draft pick.